What's going on, you guys, and welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's having a freaking awesome holiday season so far. Today, we're going to be taking a look at an old school 2014 to 2015 HP Envy 810 series system. This thing should be rocking an i7 with at least 16 gigs of RAM, and it does have a GPU, not sure what GPU it has. I recently acquired an entire pallet of about 110 computers. I hit up multiple PC shops around my area. I spent about $450 on all of these combined. It was an excellent deal. For 100 computers, my shop is freaking overran at this point. I can't wait to show you guys what else I got. I picked this one because it was on top and it looks cool. If you guys want to have a say in future videos, which is something I'm starting to do in the Discord, I posted pictures of all the computers that I had recently acquired, and I'm taking votes in the Discord for which PCs we should feature in each video. So if you want to have a say in future videos, join the Discord. So with that being said, let's go ahead, let's take a quick little walk around this thing, see what it looks like, get it hooked up, and see if it works. Alright you guys, so this is our PC in question, and man, she looks freaking awesome. It's got a little bit of crusty dusty, couple scratches here and there, nothing too bad. We are missing our sticker right here identifying what is in the system, but we're going to find out soon enough. This thing looks freaking good though. Not bad at all. So going to the rear, you can see that we do have a graphics card. And from the looks of it, we have a radiator here. So I'm assuming this thing is probably going to be water cooled. Pretty freaking cool. Not bad. I sure as hell hope this thing works. Let's go ahead and get this thing hooked up. Let's see if we can get a post. Alright you guys, we got this thing hooked up, and check this out, I forgot to mention this a second ago. This thing was supposed to be recycled a long time ago. So very fortunate to have come up on this thing. But anyways, let's see if this thing's gonna power on. Let's see what kind of specs we can get out of this thing. Does it power on? Alright, so we do have power. And it lights up all nice and pretty red. I like that. And we do got picture on the freaking screen. Let's see what kind of specs we are working with here. Alright, so we're into the BIOS, and check this out, you guys. We have a Core i7 4790. And we got 32 gigs of freaking RAM. Dude, let's freaking go. And it's running at 1600 megahertz. Dude, unbelievable. Awesome. Freaking let's go. Alright, so aside from the specs, I did want to go and see what our thermals were looking like, but it looks like we don't have a hardware monitor in here, unfortunately. I already went through everything in here, and none of this actually shows anything. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get this thing laid down on the operating table, and we're going to see what it looks like on the inside. Let's freaking go. What a score. Alright, you guys, we have this thing laid down on the operating table. Let's go ahead and pop this panel off and see what it looks like on the inside. Alright, so with our panel off here, we can see that it's actually not too bad. We do have some dust here and there, but nothing too crazy. It looks like the system was actually well maintained and taken care of. I'm hoping that since this pump is so old that this thing's going to still actually work and cool our CPU properly. But we'll worry about that once we get an operating system installed in here and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to start taking everything apart here, get our wires unplugged, get our screws taken out, get our GPU out, see what kind of GPU we're working with, and go from there. Alright, and so that is our GPU, you guys. This thing is actually relatively dusty. I find it kind of funny because I know exactly what this is because we used it in our last video. This is a GTX 745 desktop card. This is a 4 gig card, generally meant for desktop use. I don't understand why they would use this with an i7. So we're going to go ahead, put this off to the side, and continue with our breakdown here. Alright you guys, there is our motherboard, and this thing, it looks relatively good. We have a little bit of dust here and there, we got some dust bunnies living up in here, but not bad at all. So our i7 here, this thing came out all the way back in 2014, so it's definitely quite dated. This thing has 4 cores, 8 threads, has a TDP of 84 watts, should be able to boost up to 4 gigahertz, but its standard clocks is right around 3.6 gigahertz. And this is socket 1150. So definitely getting pretty old, but I bet you this thing will still perform. Moving on from our motherboard to our water pump here. This thing is completely plugged. This is going to need a good amount of cleaning, but it's so small that it should be relatively easy. So we're going to get this thing all nice and cleaned up, get some new thermal paste on our CPU, and then take a look at some of the upgrades that I plan on putting in this thing. Alright you guys, so we got this thing all back together, and man, this thing cleans up freaking awesome. Take a look at our cooler here. You can actually see right through it now. Not freaking bad at all. So in terms of upgrades, I decided to stick with our RAM here. I mean, we have 32 gigs of RAM, running at 1600 megahertz. That is literally overkill for what we're going to be doing with this thing. And we're going to be putting this thing through the paces today. I would absolutely love to test some AAA titles on this thing and see how this thing still holds up in 2025. So you guys might be wondering what kind of upgrades we plan on putting in this thing. Let's have a look. So first up, we have a GTX 1070. This is an 8 gig card, and this is a Founders Edition. I bought a bunch of these things recently on sale. I got about 6 of these cards for right around $480. Not bad at all. Aside from that, we have a 500 gig off-brand SSD. Never used this before, but it did come with a system that I had previously bought, and I'm hoping that it actually works. So when I come back to you guys, we're going to be ready to test this thing. Let's freaking go. Alright you guys, so we got this thing all put back together, and it looks freaking amazing. I went ahead, I got rid of all the crap off the top. We got rid of the sticker on the top, and it looks freaking amazing. This thing is ready to go. Let's go ahead and see if this thing is going to boot into our operating system. Is it still going to give us a picture on the screen? Come on, let's go. Alright, so we do in fact have power. This thing looks freaking awesome. And look at this, we do have picture on the screen. Let's go ahead and see if we can get into our operating system. And there you have it, you guys. We're into the operating system. When I come back, we're going to have a ton of games installed on this thing and ready to test. Let's freaking go. Alright, you guys, so our first game is going to be Valheim, and right off the bat I can see that this game is running freaking awesome. No lagging, no hitching, no issues whatsoever. We're getting between 60 and 100 FPS, so that's pretty impressive. We are testing at 1080p. This is all medium settings, and it's running freaking phenomenal. This is pretty damn cool. Our GTX 1070 is running right around 65C, not too shabby. We got about 50% utilization, and we're drawing right around 100 watts. So far, this first game, not freaking bad at all. Our i7 is running nice and cool, right around 40C, and we're getting about 40% utilization. It's running freaking phenomenal. Excellent outcome so far. Let's go ahead and move on to our next game. Alright, so next up, you guys, we got Sons of the Forest. And right off the bat, once again, we are running incredibly smooth. Just over 60 FPS, hitting nearly 70. We're looking around 60C on our GPU. About 50 to 60-ish % utilization on our GPU. And then we're drawing right around 95 watts. Not too bad at all. Our i7 is staying nice and cool once again, right around 40 to 50C. And we got about 50% utilization. Definitely not too shabby. This game can 100% be demanding, especially when you have the settings cranked up. Again, this is a phenomenal outcome. This runs absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and move on to our third game. Alright, you guys, so next up we have BeamNG Drive, and right off the bat, again, we're getting great performance here. Hovering right around 60 FPS. We're running around 60C on our 1070, and then we got about 60% utilization. Not too shabby at all. This thing is running way better than I thought it was going to, and I'm kind of baffled. It's not too shabby. You know, with RAM prices and how expensive some PC components are right now, this would definitely save you a fair bit of money. So you could probably get this system offline for right around 400 bucks in this exact configuration minus the GPU. Grab a GPU for around 100 bucks, which is what you can grab these GPUs for, which is not bad, and you're going to get the same performance. We're now hitting nearly 100 FPS. Amazing little system so far, you guys. Crazy, crazy. Let's go ahead and move on to our next game. Alright, so next up we have Palworld. If you guys have watched some of my previous videos, you'll know that I love Palworld. This is such a fun game, and it's also a great game to test your system. Again, we are getting great performance here, right around 80 FPS.
Looking like it might want to dip into the 90s here in a second, but once we get into these more textured areas, we'll probably see some fluctuations here. But running super smooth, no lagging, no hitching. So far, no issues at all. I would say 100% this is a win. I cannot believe how well this system runs. It is blowing my mind. And we are now dipping into the 90s. So we're still running nice and cool, right around 60C. We're getting about 60% utilization. Our i7 is running nice and cool, right around 45 to 50C. And then we're getting about 70% utilization. We may have somewhat of a bottleneck here, but it is not inhibiting our ability to play these games whatsoever. And the experience is great. I would have no complaints if this was my daily driver. Freaking let's go. Let's go ahead and move on to our next game. Alright, you guys, next up we have Helldivers, and holy shit, it is running freaking amazing. And this is all medium and high settings nonetheless. Oh my god, this is absolutely phenomenal. This system is a beast, dude. You want to freaking get a budget gamer? This kind of system is the way to go. Even if you were just to maybe get these specs offline and build your own, you're looking at spending like anywhere from $200 to $400 and have an absolutely playable experience with, it seems like, most, if not all games. You guys, we gotta try Starfield on here. Let's freaking go. Let's go ahead and move on to our last game, which will be Starfield. Alright, you guys are not gonna freaking believe this, but you're gonna have to. It's right there in front of your faces. We are getting over 60 FPS in Starfield. It is running absolutely perfect. No lagging, no hitching, no issues whatsoever. And we're in a pretty heavily textured area as well. So, what an amazing outcome for such a budget beast. You know, you could literally be sitting here gaming just like me on this PC, and it costs the same price as 2 sticks of DDR5 RAM. That is just, that's crazy. If you guys have made it this far in the video, something like this might just get you by until this absolutely insane, overinflated price gouging ends. What a phenomenal result. This is one hell of a system for the money. What a phenomenal result, you guys. I cannot believe how well this i7 still runs to this day. And our GTX 1070. To play Starfield is just, that's next level in my opinion. If you guys like the video, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If I didn't earn your subscription in this one, I will definitely keep on making fun content just like this to hopefully earn it the next time. Until next time, you guys, stay safe in the world, and I will catch you in the next one.